In the Comox Valley, a building that was heavily damaged by fire nearly a year ago is finally being torn down, but the neighbors say the demolition may come too little too late. The building housed a hydroponics store and was filled with chemicals when the flames broke out, sending clouds of toxic smoke billowing into the sky. And the people who live and work nearby say those toxins have been spreading in their neighborhood ever since. CTV's Gord Kurbis reports.
A heavily protected worker climbs aboard an excavator. He's getting ready to resume efforts to tear down what some say has turned into a Courtenay eyesore.
It doesn't reflect well, but at the same time, the biggest concern that the city had was just the structure itself. It had been severely consumed by the fire.
The building is the remains of the just-in-time hydroponics store that went up in flames last September. The city hasn't been successful in getting the building's owners to clean up the site, so now the city is doing it for them.
What we tried to do is give the people time, ample time to address the issue themselves. The 30-day requirement by the Act, we actually exceeded that by 6. We gave them 6 weeks instead of the 30 days.
I don't want to have to be out here to ask you to move.
At the time of the blaze, RCMP and fire crews were greatly concerned that chemicals and supplies inside the structure were contributing to toxic clouds that billowed into the area. Much of what was in the store then has remained in there for the past 11 months. Carol Marlow runs the Community Thrift Store right across from the abandoned building. She's concerned that the remains were allowed to sit open to the elements, to people passing by and even going into the building.
There's been hundreds of people through that building all year. The building's been slowly, systematically stripped. They've taken all, wiring, any kind of product that was in the building.
Marlow became very alarmed when notices appeared at the site 2 days ago saying asbestos was in the building. She's worried that she and other staff have been subjected to the asbestos blowing in her direction for the past 11 months.
I think the city had an obligation to tell people if there was a problem in there.
The thrift store operator says 3 of her workers are now currently off sick with medical problems.
Don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but I have 3 people here that are having lung issues. 1 hasn't been back to work in probably about 6 months. 1's going for CAT scan in September.
The Love Bug is a nearby coffee shop that will also be glad to see the building disappear.
You look out the window and you see this burnt down half-standing monstrosity. Every storm that we have, you think that little pieces are going to go flying.
The owner will have to pay the $100,000 cleanup bill outright or see it added to their property taxes. Gord Kurbis, CTV News, Courtenay.